Hello, Lightning Stalker here. I'm gonna show you a little trick you can use if you got a circuit board and there's a little circuit on there that you want that's separate from the rest, but you don't need the rest. There's a way you can cut it off so you don't need the whole big circuit board. What you do is you just take a razor blade like this and you score around it a few times. You just push really hard, but not so hard that it breaks the circuit board, and you just score like this all around it. And you'll notice it starts to cut through. Now you could either do one of two things. You could either keep scoring until it cuts through all the way, or if you've got a nice straight line across your circuit board, you can just take it and flex it on that score line and it'll break real clean right there. Then you have your separate circuit all by itself. Alright, now you can see what I have done here. I have scored all around that circuit, that part of the board that I want to cut out, and you just go back and forth with the razor, and eventually on the other side you will be able to see a white line where you've scored. You can kind of see it. Let's see. You can kind of see it right here where I scored there. And what you can do then is just score on the other side, right over that line. That'll give you a much cleaner break. And once you've done that a little bit, if it's a nice straight line, and if you don't really care about the rest of your circuit, you can just wiggle it apart till it breaks, and then it should snap right off. Also, as you're doing this, you don't want to breathe the dust, because a lot of times some of these boards are made from fiberglass, and that glass dust will give you silicosis, so you don't really want to breathe that in. As you probably already figured out, you can also do this with a rotary tool like a Dremel. It makes a lot more dust though, and you can't get as fine of a cutting line with that. But if you don't need a really thin cutting line, like if your traces are further apart, see, these are real close together, so I need a real fine cutting line. But if they're a little further apart, you can use a Dremel and zip that off that way, but it makes a lot more dust and it'll get up in your face and everything. But the dust stays down pretty good with the razor, and you can get a really fine line. I'm going to trace around this whole thing on the other side and then snap it off, and I'll show you what the result is. Okay, here's my finished cutout. I just scored on both sides and then wiggled it a little bit and it snapped right off. If you've ever cut drywall before, it's like the same type of thing. And here's the circuit board that I cut it out from, and you can see how if you have a curved cut like this, you'll tend to get cracking on the board out from the curve, on the outside of the curve. So you gotta be real careful. In this case, I don't care about the rest of this board, so I just wanted this little piece here because it connects to another board. This is the speaker output from an amplifier. You can see it in one of my other videos what I'm doing with that, so in case you wondered what it was. And I hope you found this helpful.